Dear children, welcome you all for the poem Macavity, the Mystery Cat. See, the word mystery is nothing but the something which is done by the cat which we don't know, or it is very difficult to understand what the cat is doing. So that is what mystery mean here. See, the poem is taken from the Honeydew textbook of English in 8th standard. The poem is written by T.S. Eliot. So, T.S. Eliot is the modernist writer, poet, critic, essayist, and we can also take him as a thinker. Let us read about him. T.S. Eliot was recognized through his poetic genius. In the time of modern era, he started to write his poem different from other poet who has written earlier. And we can also consider him as the most dominant figure in poetry and literary criticism in the English speaking world. In this English is a universal language. So, all over the world we are speaking English, but the writer, the poet, and the essayist of this literature, English literature, for most we have to consider T.S. Eliot is the influential figure in the 19th century or 20th century, because he tried to look the poetry differently, and he is also famous for lengthy poems, and he is going to break the traditional way of poetry, and he looked the poems in modernity, in the sense modern view of looking. So let us read about the poem, what he has written. Yes, here you can see the picture, the image of T.S. Eliot. Yes, Macavity, the Mystery Cat. The title itself is making us to think about, it's very difficult to handle. What is the cat it is? That is the mystery cat. How it is cat, you have noticed and you have watched, you have experienced with cat, how cat is. But the cat, the mystery cat, that is what? Macavity. Macavity is the name of the cat, and that is mysterious. Mysterious. Then, do you have a pet cat? If it is yes, you can say yes or no. Do you have a cat, a pet cat? Have you ever noticed anything mysterious about it? If you have cat at home, have you noticed anything which is mysterious about the cat? It is not easy to say whether every cat is a mystery. It is highly impossible to judge about the mystery and all. But Macavity is one of them. Macavity is the mystery cat, no doubt at all, among each and every cat. For sure. What is it that makes him a perfect mystery cat? Read the poem and find out. But the thing is that, like I told you earlier, the title of the poem says that it is very different. And we have to notice how Macavity is a mystery cat. And how, in what way this cat is different from other cats. So if we want to know about this answer for this question, we have to read the poem thoroughly. Macavities. Yes, look at the repetition. It is nothing but, I'm going to tell you, this poem contains somewhat repetitive words, repetitive sentences. Just you have to find out while reading. Macavity is a mystery cat. The title of the poem is repeated again here. He is called the hidden paw. So hidden is third V3 form of hide. Hide, hidden. Hidden, yes. Can we continue it as V3 form? No. It is not important to say that V3 form and all. Here is about hidden. Hidden is going to hide. So what is going to hide? Paw. So paw in the sense animals and animals food, which claws and all. So hidden, the word says that Macavity is going to hide its paw. That means the mystery is showed by this cat. Why? For he is the master criminal who can defy the law. So what is this? The master criminal. Who is that master criminal? That is Macavity. Macavity is the master criminal who can, it is possible, Macavity can able to defy, to break or disobey, disobeying the law. The law, which law is that? The law which we are following. Got it? So the structure, the system which is structured wherein our country, and that law is broke down by this mystery cat. Why? Because it is master criminal. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard. So Scotland Yard. So what is that? Scotland Yard. He is the bafflement. Bafflement is nothing but confusion. So in what way that Macavity is going to confuse? Macavity is going to confuse Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard is nothing but the headquarters of the London police force. See, the meaning is given in the glossary. Just have a look at and understand it. Scotland Yard, this is what force wherein London. It is about police force. The flying squads, despair. Flying squads, what does it mean? A group of police soldiers ready to move into action quickly. So there are two forces who came there in order to find the cat. So which cat? Mystery cat. So mystery cat, master criminal and mystery cat. So which is expert and to defy the law. But what happened? Despair. The word suggests. What does it mean? Despair. Despair is nothing but complete loss of hope. So who lost hope here? The two forces who came there to capture Macavity from this criminal ideas, or the idea of defying the law. But the Scotland Yard and Flying Squad, they both lost the hope to hold the Macavity at the time of criminal activity. For when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. So what happened here? So Scotland Yard and Flying Squad, they both together came to find the Macavity. But at the time of scene of crime, they can't take Macavity. They can't find Macavity in the place of crime. So it shows that Macavity is the mystery cat, no doubt at all. Yes, here you can see the appearance of Macavity, how Macavity is looking. Macavity. Macavity. There is no one like Macavity. The word Macavity is repeating again and again. It shows that so we don't have another alternative like Macavity. Macavity is the cat which is unique than others. He has broken every human law because Macavity cat is master criminal. He breaks the law of gravity. Macavity is not only breaking human law but also the law of gravity. The law of gravity, the invention of Sir Isaac Newton. Here, has broken human law. What is that human law? Cheating others. Yes. But Macavity is cheating us by doing their secret plan. So that is nothing but human law. At the same time, Macavity breaks the law of gravity. Why? Because his powers of levitation would make a fakir stare. Fakir? Who is he? A priest or a monk wherein Muslim religion. So fakir has a special supernatural power in his hand, and he failed to understand Macavity. Why? Because of levitation, powers of levitation. Levitation in the sense ability to fly upward or go to the sky. Macavity having the power which travels towards the sky and breaking the law of gravity. At the same time, Fakir failed to understand and is looking continuously. The word suggesting that is stare. Stare in the sense Fakir is staring about the Macavity, how Macavity is flying upward. And when you read the scene of crime, repetition. Keep in mind, when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You cannot find Macavity in the place of crime. It is always escaping from that forces. You may seek him in the basement. You may look up in the air. Yes, so there are possibilities. You can seek him where in the basement area, or you can look up in the air. But I tell you once and once again, the speaker is known about Macavity, how Macavity is clever. Once and once again, Macavity is not there. Speaker is very sure about Macavity. Macavity cannot be seen at the time of criminal activity. Whatever you do, if you have supernatural power or if you have a power to administration, so you cannot find the Macavity anywhere in the field of criminal activity. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly doomed. So this stanza is about the appearance, how Macavities appear the time of criminal activity. How Macavity is ginger cat. Earlier it is master criminal. Now it is ginger cat. It looks like ginger. The color that a coat is worn by this cat looks like ginger. He is very tall. Yes, it's about the height of the Macavity. It's very tall and thin. Look at this shape of the body language. Thin. You would know him if you saw. Yes, if you want to know about Macavity, you have to see how Macavity is. For his eyes are sunken. Sunken. Look at the eyes. it is seen as sunk in the face. His brow is deeply lined. Lined? Deeply lined. You cannot say yes, somewhere here. You can notice that the brow is deeply lined. Why? Because of thinking, because of thought. His head is highly doomed. Highly doomed? Doomed in the sense covered with or shaped like round because of its thinking and all. It is looks like this appearance. Then his coat is dusty from neglect. Because of negligency, Macavity's coat is dusty, covered with dust. So it doesn't take care about its coat and all. It is always involved in criminal activity. So it is limited to think about that how to do criminal activity day to day. His whiskers are uncombed. It doesn't have discipline. It doesn't know about that human quality, how we should be, how we should stand, how we should sit. This is the way that whiskers. What do you mean by whiskers? A hair on the side of a cat, which is grown in the mouth. You can notice. He sways his head from side to side. Sways in the sense moves, moving its head from side to side with movements like a snake. So the movement which is made by this Macavity is compared with the movement of the snake. How snake is moving? Zigzag. That is the way that Macavity is moving its head. And when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. So you are thinking that Macavity is sleeping half asleep. But Macavity won't sleep. Macavity is always awake and thinking about other thing which decided to do something. Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. Yes. So Macavity is comparing with each and every cats, but we don't have another cat like Macavity. So Macavity is very few compared with other. For he is a fiend. Fiend. What is that fiend? Fiend means devil. In feline, a cat. Fiend, devil or demon. So evil spirit is presented in the form of cat, in the form of feline shape. A monster of depravity, moral corruption. So what is that moral corruption here? Macavity, the cat, is corrupted like a monster or devil or demon. You may meet him by a street. You may see him in the square. Yes, you can notice Macavity where in the street or in the square, the area of the place in the village. But what happened? When a crime's discovered, the site of crime, or after happening of this criminal activity, then Macavity is not there. You cannot find this cat at the time of criminal activity in the scene of crime. It is highly impossible to find out Macavity at the time of criminal activity. According to the poet, the poet is going to giving awareness about that Macavity and its criminal activity. How Macavity is brilliant to escape from each and every concept. Even earlier stanza we read about a fakir. So he also failed to see that Macavity, while Macavity is flying upward. In this way, let me stop this video. I hope that you understood about this concept. Read once again about this poem and be ready for examination. Thank you so much, my dear students.